Tess Stapleton, the Stanford standout, 57-17, fastest of all the sections combined in the women's 400 hurdles, showing incredible growth and development and evolution since 58-66, just a couple weeks ago. First and foremost, absolutely brilliant performance.
Thank you.
You're a scholar athlete, in the classroom, but you just put together a master class out there, Tess. The fact that you had something to be able to go back and reflect on, with the race a couple weeks ago, like how impactful was that, just in terms of helping you learn what worked best for you in terms of step pattern, lead leg, trail leg, because I know we can still count on less than one hand the amount of times that you've done this wearing a Stanford kit, but like I said, you're a quick study. So how significant was that race in terms of pouring into what happened today?
Yeah, I mean, that was huge. This is only my second race in the 400 hurdles ever, as a fifth year, which is crazy. I'm really making a last-ditch effort at this event, but that race was so important in terms of just kind of shaking the nerves out. Everyone talks about the 400 hurdles and it becomes this kind of like villain event where you're gonna absolutely die, and so I was very, very nervous. So getting that out of my system at Cal, first just from an anxiety standpoint, was absolutely huge, knowing that I can do this race, I can survive. And then, that race, I've been working on carrying my 15 steps as far as possible. At that race, I took it to hurdle 6, and my goal for today was just to try and take it a little bit further. I think we definitely realized through my split through the 200 versus the end that it's really just going to be a fight for building up my endurance at this point. So I've had some really tough practices from the Berkeley meet, trying to just get a lot stronger in that second half, and I think that definitely helped me today. I would bet that my split for the last 200 was really what pushed me down into the low 57s.
Most definitely. You were such a force in Connecticcut, and were so consistent throughout your entire career, but really elevated, in the last chapter of your career.
Let's help out.
Is what you're feeling now? You've always had a sense of urgency. You've always had the passion and the drive. Huge shout out to my friend Mary Abel, that obviously was giving you all the love and the respect and the praise that you deserved back when you were in Connecticut. But multiple time Gatorade winner. I mean, you showed us that brilliance, and especially in the latter stages of high school. Comparison is the thief of joy, Tess, but just how are you feeling just in terms of that passion, that purpose, that urgency to be like, whether it's in the 400 hurdles or any other event that you want to be able to leave a similar legacy out here representing the Cardinal, and especially at Cobb Track and Angell Field.
Oh yeah, I definitely feel that. It's the main driver for why I stayed for a fifth year, because I think the biggest thing I had in my head through all 4 years was that I had such unfinished business. I felt like, especially compared to high school, where I was so fortunate to have such great success, I think in college I had a lot rockier of a road. I think balancing the rigor of being at Stanford, being in California, with track was really tough, especially staying healthy. The reason I have a fifth year is because of how much time I had to take off during undergrad, and so I knew, especially based on what I did in high school, that I had it in me to be, an all-American track athlete. I did it when I was younger, and I think the hand I was dealt in college was a lot tougher, and so that was a huge part of why I stayed for a fifth year, just knowing that if I can get healthy and I can be able to put in the work that I want to put in, that I know I have it in me, and I really wanted to get back to those high school glory days, to be honest.
Absolutely. This is like a y'all must have forgot moment about just how exceptional and how versatile and how well-rounded you are. Because you always excelled, whether it was 55 hurdles, 60 hurdles, 100 hurdles, but you are also a grown woman now, Tess. So like you were talking about, like in terms of what that requires from a mental toughness standpoint, but also just the way that your body has added more strength. As a woman in your early 20s, like is this the right time where other people might go running a younger version of Tess Stapleton, might go running away from the 400 hurdles, that it's like let's embrace the pain because the reward is going to be so fulfilling?
Yeah, I've thought about this a lot, and I definitely think just, as a person, my body is definitely more equipped to handle this type of training and this tough of an event. But I would 110% say it's really the mental change that got me to this event. I mean, people told me I've always been, I've had a long stride. I think I had a hard time holding my own in the shorter hurdles because it's just so powerful, and I think my 100, like open 100 sprint was never that impressive. I think I made up for it a lot with just my hurdle technique. So I've had this
event. And the fact that you're a gamer and you're an amazing competitor.
Thank you. But I've had coaches, pretty much all my coaches throw out this event as, we think you'd be a great 400 hurdler, but I just think I was not mentally tough enough at that time. I really shied away, to be completely honest, from an event that everybody, always upheld as this impossible event, this painful event. When I was younger, I was like, I don't want that pain, meets are hard enough. I don't want to also be throwing up to the event and be dead. And I think I've done a lot of growing in the past 2 years, just about what I'm willing to do and what I'm willing to put myself through to be a champion. And I think I really had to have some tough conversations with myself, my coaches, with my sports psych, about the fact that I can be mentally tough enough to hang with girls who put themselves through hell, to come out here and do well this event.
Absolutely. Well, like I said, if it's only 2 times in, and we're already going from 58.66 to 57.17.
56 next.
Yeah, I can't promise that we're going to see another 1.49 second drop between now and the next race, but as long as it keeps turning in the right direction, Tess Stapleton's not only going to be a legit contender for an Atlantic Coast Conference Championship, but also in the West Regionals and pursuing NCAA All-American at Hayward Field in June. Tess, incredible performance. Stay healthy. Stay blessed here on Good Friday, and best of luck going forward.
Thank you so much.